All right, welcome to Betting Weekly Tennis Live. Mitch Michals, Dustin Fox, the most versatile, prepared for anything betting show in the tennis landscape. We've got the Italian Open, where the rain has delayed the action, but hopefully we'll get to resume and really resume some matches, play some firecracker late matches. Women's quarterfinal match starts today. We've got the men's fourth round. It's an exciting time, Dustin Fox. Our final Masters tournament before Roland Garros, and it's exciting, right? I'm glad to talk tennis with you and also just kind of see your thoughts on some of these wild results.
No, I'm glad to be back talking with you guys too. Typically on Mondays, but had a little had to divert that. I was down in Florida for the weekend. Played a little tennis down there, by the way, on the green clay, and it's good to be back here in Ohio. We sort of like passed like two ships in the night. You were here, last week, and I've got my Cavs stuff on tonight because we do have a must win tonight here in Cleveland, which I will be going to. But in the meantime, we can talk some tennis.
Yeah. It's anything to get our minds off that series, right?
Oh, dude.
Well, like I mentioned, we've got rain right now, and if you go to the Bet Rivers app, if you go to, we're on the Bet Rivers network, download the app, get in on the action. There's tons of great stuff. You can watch a lot of these matches too, so you can really just lock right in. And we mentioned it that right now we have delays in the action. Where we stand right now, 2 men's matches delayed. Musetti has match point on Medvedev. He's up a set. It's 5-4 on serve 40-30. So when we resume, we could have 1 point. We could have a lot. If it gets to deuce, you'll probably see a number on that and be able to bet. Can't really bet right now. But the other one, a surprisingly good matches. This tournament's been full of surprisingly good matches. But Mensik and Hurkacz, it's 1 set all, 40-15. Mensik is serving 2-3. He's a -182 favorite. Hubie is +130 on the live line. Dustin, Hubie started the match amazing, was serving well. We had these questions about his form coming back from injury. He looks great, but Mensik digs deep, finds a way to swing it, and the bettors in the market feel like this could be his match. Still, though, just on serve.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how this finishes up. And you always wonder about these delays, like who is it going to affect the most? May not be a bad thing for Hubie to kind of regroup after losing the first. You win the first set, lose the second set. I don't know. Me as I play obviously recreationally. When I lose the second set, like I had a match last night, for example. I lost the second set, and then the momentum was with the other player, my opponent, and I ended up losing last night. So I just wonder how that'll play out. But I'm a big Hubie fan. I love Mensik's game, and we talked about this when he was in was it Madrid recently?
Yeah,
and then obviously Miami, with which he won. But no, I mean, he's a hell of a player, and when his first serve is on, it's pretty much unstoppable. But they definitely, if you get into rallies with him, you can win. He's beatable, obviously. But yeah, and then Alcaraz this morning took out Khachanov.
How about this though? We're going to see Alcaraz Draper in the quarterfinals, which is awesome. And both of those guys took the long way. They were huge favorites in their matches. Alcaraz versus Khachanov, he was like -700. Khachanov just fights. I've always talked about my appreciation for him being a scrapper out there, and it took a 7-5 third set. And then Draper, we were talking about before, had to go the long way to get past Corentin Moutet, who is crafty, creative, very skilled, makes up for his maybe lack of size and strength with just some great racket skills. Draper and Alcaraz both had to earn their way to the quarterfinals.
I watched a good portion of the Draper Moutet match, and I was like, I could see the frustration in Draper's eyes in the first set because, or it's actually the second set. The first set he gets breadsticked 6-1, and then he was just trying to figure things out. And it's like I said to you before we came on the air, like, what's going on with Moutet? Like, he's really tough on clay. He's tricky.
Longest match of the year is when he won against Holger, 3 hours and 44 minutes.
Was it that long? Yeah, for a
three-setter. Yeah,
crazy. But he's tricky. He's a lefty. He's crafty, fun to watch on clay. He also does things that gets in his opponent's minds. So he's had a nice little run here on the red dirt to start the season. So didn't win today. Draper had to figure some things out, and obviously does. Wins the second and third set, which was nice to see. But I'm looking forward to that quarterfinal. That's going to be really fun. A rematch.
I wonder, and I worry a lot of times. The two observations I have for this match is one, and really into the Alcaraz Khachanov match, the set betting is maybe the way to go. The top players, when you get to like rounds 4 and into the quarterfinals, even with Alcaraz and Draper, these top players are so good that to win a set, if you would have taken either of these players, you win money on that. The other side of it is I do worry about Moutet and players that are coming off long matches having to, go right back to the well. Even with the day off, it was just tough. Draper didn't have the toughest draw, was able to kind of find his bearings and have more in the tank in set 3. So something to kind of look at as a better, right? Like if you win a long match, it's tough to recover and go back out against a world-class player.
Well, and to your point, it's a great segue into Peyton Stearns today, who plays almost 3 hours yesterday against Naomi Osaka, comes out on top in a tiebreaker.
She's got that dog in her. I mean, we know that.
I love it, man. And I hate to be like gender specific, but like she's like tougher than me, I think. I mean, I swear, like she is so badass. I mean, she's like throwing up behind the umpire chair, and then she goes back out, and then after the match, when she looked like she was dead in the water, throws up again after the match. She's cramping up. Yeah. I mean, just remarkable.
I couldn't believe that. We know how tough she is and how she's able to battle. She had an epic match against Emma Navarro in Australia. That was round 1 that Emma came through with. But really, when you watch Peyton play, you know that there's just tenacity there, and finding her footing on clay has been huge. The new coaching change, but she has a tough one coming up with Svitolina. I mean, that Svitolina has had a great under the radar clay season. Outside of the top 2-3 names, she's been right there. And it's less time on court. So we talked about that match, myself and Tim Dennis, on yesterday's Betting Weekly Tennis Live show. Tough spot for Peyton. We'll get into that match in a little bit. But the other name today, before we get into the whole weather side of the podcast, I'm looking at the weather and saying, it looks like it's like 10-15% light rain. So I think we're going to get these matches in. But one we got in, Dustin, was Jasmine Paolini's rally comeback, 4-1, a set and 4-1 double breakdown, wins that match. Our guy Nigel Seeley was talking about that, and he was saying like the odds on this, the live betting swing was crazy. I was seeing plus 1,000, plus 800.
I got her plus 550.
When did you get her at? What time did you get
it? Second set, and she was serving 2-4.
Okay, so I think it was like 800 to 1,000 when Shnaider was serving 4-1.
Probably so.
Crazy,
probably so,
right?
Because I got it right when she was about to hold at 2-4, and then she breaks to make
again
4-4. Yeah, but I was nervous. I mean, she gets into the third set and she gets broke right off the rip.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing, right? With Jasmine, she had this iconic year for her. Elevates one of the best breakthrough years we've seen, especially for a player that's not a teenager, like mid to late 20s. Goes from like top 50, 60 to like top 10, top 4 even. Not big. Hate to height shame here, but not tall, and that is a disadvantage. So the serve doesn't come as easily, but she crushes ground strokes and she digs in on her return. In terms of clean ball striking, I think this matchup made a lot of fascination to me, and why it was an overplay for a lot of people, because Shnaider is a crafty player herself. So it wasn't really power versus power. It was kind of a lot of strategy involved, and man, Jasmine just wore her down at the end, especially with that home crowd behind her.
I mean, that's what Paolini does. I was actually on Ostapenko yesterday, and that did not turn out too well for me. I mean, she had her opportunities. Ostapenko did, and she's really good on clay. But Paolini's she's too consistent, man. Like she just is. And if you get into rallies and the opponent's making unforced errors, it's a tough matchup. So love. I mean, what is she? 5'2", 5'3"?
Well, she's listed as 5'4". I think I'm going to throw the challenge flag on that one, having met her before. But yeah, I'd say about 5'3". Shnaider also, friendly advice to players out there, unless you're wired a very specific way, like Novak Djokovic, Shnaider kind of was like egging the crowd on after she got broke.
Yeah, I don't
really go well for her after. Yeah, in Rome too. We saw, I think, Kenin last year, Shapovalov in the past. Like, there's crowds I wouldn't push back at, and I think Rome is one of them, especially when
Did you see the Towson Andreeva match?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. I think, well, there was a heckler that was giving Towson an unfair,
she was cheering on double faults.
That's brutal. You never want to do that. No. But Andreeva dug deep when she had a brutal call go against her that led to 15-40 on her serve early in the third. So to dig in, I thought that call was ridiculous.
I thought it was ridiculous as well. I mean, if anything, it affected Andreeva just as much, maybe more. The lights going on.
I'm going to also go down with the ship. One of these days, I'm going to get a call right on Kostyuk to take a set off of Sabalenka. The last 2 matches, right? How close can you get? The first match was 2 breakers. The second match, he gets killed set 1, and then set 2 has, saves match points, epic tiebreak. Probably, I would say up there on the match of the year on the WTA. Well, maybe not match of the year because the first set wasn't good, but watch that last set of tennis and tell me that there hasn't been a higher level.
How many women's tiebreakers do you see that they get into like double-digit points? Not many.
They were dueling drop shots. Sabalenka wins it on a drop shot. Kostyuk has gotten so much better. She goes for shots to her detriment sometimes, but I'm never going to fault Dustin. It's like any sport. When you play someone that, is better than you, you got to take your chances. So you're going to make errors as a result.
Yeah, no doubt. I like her game, and it's fun to see. Sabalenka, every time she's on the court, we've talked about this. She's got a big target on her back. She is she's going to get the best shot from every player she plays.
Well, let's look at some of these matches, Dustin, today. We've got matches tomorrow to get to. We got others today. We talked about a little bit yesterday, but as it stands right now, there's been some line movement on Zverev, and it's gone in the direction of Zverev. Yesterday, I think it was about -160 on the Bet Rivers network on the app. It's -186 right now for Zverev, +148 for Fees. Fees having won the last 2. Zverev has beaten him before, but I don't know. And the spread going to +2.5. This is one where, Dustin, I want your thoughts on this match because the set betting to win a set, that was one of Tim Dennis's best plays yesterday, was Fees to win a set. I kind of like the game spread. I think 2.5 for Fees, I think is kind of a hedge, but I think he could win it. But I don't know. For Fees to win a set is -190. It's a little bit of a price, but what's your thoughts on this?
Fees just got him at Indian Wells, right?
And got him in his own country last year to win in Hamburg.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I thought it was weird, the Arthur Feast thing against Tsitsipas when he was mad about he wasn't really mad. He was like fake mad.
Yeah, and you use it to motivate yourself. I actually didn't think it was much, and I think the umpire kind of egged
No, I think the umpire egged it on, and then at the end, it was maybe there was just some miscommunication because of the language barrier. I don't know
exactly. Yeah,
but they were Arthur was just trying to say, "Hey, man, I was using it to motivate me. I wasn't really trying to be a dick about it,
Yeah,
and that's sort of
part of it.
Yeah, I get it.
He's only had one bad tournament all year, right? So if we're talking consistency, but Zverev is a defending champ. I don't know. That's a crazy one coming up later today because the winner of this match is in a great position. You also have Tommy Paul taking on Minaur, and as much as I love Tommy, the numbers don't really suggest optimism in this matchup. 5-0 for the Demon. And as I said yesterday, Dustin, Alex neutralizes a lot of Tommy's God-given advantages that he has against other players.
They both got wheels, man.
And this surface too, right? I don't know. I don't like this spot for Tommy. If I'm going to make a play, I'd go Demon, maybe even in straight sets. But this could be the spark Tommy needs. The Americans need a spark, right? Somebody needs to step up. It has not been a good run for the Americans on clay.
No, what are the odds on Tommy Paul?
Plus 155.
Okay. Yeah. I liked it. Here's the thing. He just played Moutet the last round. And Moutet is another similar player, right? He's got wheels too. He's kind of got a crafty game, kind of like Demon. I don't know. But that 5-0 is something you can't ignore.
Take a flyer on Minaur, Casper, plus 300. Minaur destroys Shelton.
Minaur is playing so well, and I don't even know much about him, dude. He just keeps beating guys.
Casper is also a great call on your hand. Maybe that's the play, and I love him, but Berrettini, maybe you just bet the set against him because he's just going to maybe retire. It's happened how many times this year? One set down, he's like, nope. So I don't know. 3-1 though. 3-1 on Minaur, and maybe. This is kind of where my mind's going with these clay matches. You can go over 21.5 games for -105. Or you could say Minaur to take a set, and on Bet Rivers right now, that's plus money, plus 106. Because as I mentioned too, Casper, I can speak glowingly about Casper for a longer than their 30-minute show, but it hasn't always been just straightforward. There's been some 3-setters in his journey, even in this tournament against Bublik. So maybe Minaur plus money to win a set here is the play.
I can get behind that. Like I said, this guy continues to surprise me every time I see he's playing top players. It's like he's either winning or he's winning a set at least. So I like that.
Svitolina Stearns. Stearns is plus 230 as a dog right now. So what's she gonna have left in the tank?
I don't think enough.
When she said yesterday that her goal was to not throw up on the court, that was her goal in the third set tiebreak.
Put it this way. Here's your angle on this match.
Yeah.
If you like Peyton Stearns, and we're Americans, so we root for Americans, right? So I would say better to win the first set.
Yeah. Or you do the other way. I mean,
because she's not going to win. If she loses the first set, she's not winning the match.
Love that theory because it's what I call the kitchen sink theory. You just throw it all. I kind of had that thought when it'd be like Monfils or somebody playing one of the top players, like he's at the French Open, like you're just going to give it all you got early. But devil's advocate thinks what we just said, right? Svitolina first set if Stearns can't finish. But I think she will finish. I think there's something there. Straight sets for Svitolina, right? Like if we look at that number, I think it's about -110 or so. So maybe that's the -120. So yeah, maybe that's the play. I did have another angle too on that Paul de Minaur match. If you think de Minaur is going to go straight through, you can go Tommy Paul under games. I think it was like at 11.5 or so. So maybe under in the game total. But we got matches tomorrow too, and some bangers, man. I was looking at the board for tomorrow, and we'll see. Got to get all these matches in first, but we should have a pretty clean schedule tomorrow. A couple women's matches. How about this one here, Dustin? Coco Gauff taking on Mirra Andreeva yet again. These are the numbers on Bet Rivers. Download the app and make your favorite bet here, or other ones on. There's so many bets you can make, but -139 Coco, +112 Mirra Andreeva. Set spreads there. The over/under games is at 21.5, and you could see if you go over 2.5 sets, that is +132. I said this before, right? Last match was a little misleading. Andreeva had a couple set points in the first set, lost that. Then Coco steamrolled her, won that set, won the second going away. Dustin, I think this is her motive. I think this is Coco Gauff's motivation more than anything, more than even Sabalenka, is the new kid on the block. Like,
she was the new kid on the block, and now there's a new kid on the block who's younger than her doing things that she didn't do.
And so she's beating her every time. So it's
I would say I'm playing Coco.
Well, how are you going to play her? Is it going to be just money line? Are we looking at? I mean, you get good value on the money line, honestly, and you could pair this with something else if you want.
I need to analyze a little bit more.
Andreeva had a long match.
The thing about tennis is fun to bet because there's so many different ways to do it.
Right.
I'm probably going to take Peyton Stearns to win the first set.
Oh, okay. All right. I hope it hits. Man. That would be that's a good one, right? Still got some rain in Rome. Say that a couple times fast.
Rain in Rome. You know what? If anything, I would probably take. I kind of like the over.
All right.
Kind of like the over.
Wow.
I think Coco. If Coco wins, I still think Andreeva gets a set.
So maybe the set bet, or because the other thing is like
which one has better odds?
Sets?
It's -120 over 21.5 games,
but +132 for over 2.5 sets. And then what ends up happening is you get 2 long sets and you lose. So that's why it's like everyone's like, why don't you take the set bet? And then you lose like a 6-4, 7-6 match. It's like great, awesome. Which is probably what happened in the Kostyuk match yesterday. But I think this will be a good one.
What about +245 on? Yes, there's going to be a tiebreaker.
I'm a big tiebreak guy. You know that. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can go women's tennis tiebreaker as much.
It's hard to get to them, but they've already played one. I mean,
they have
3 matchups ago. The first set went to breaker. Yeah,
we got tennis players coming back on the court.
We got some action.
Let's go. Finally, some rain's lightening up. Yeah, I don't. Tiebreaker is a good play too, considering that. And both of these players are plus on Bet Rivers as of right now. I checked yesterday. Might be a good time to see what we're looking at. French Open futures. They are both +650. Iga and Sabalenka are both +225. Iga's dropped. I think she's going to keep dropping. She's going to be the number 4 player in the world going into RG. I don't know how anybody other than a diehard Iga fan could feel confident right now at any number. So this is an opportunity, right? Because I think the winner of this match, I mean, you're going to see some odds move. So Sabalenka, top dog. Speaking of Sabalenka, Dustin, getting on the women's tennis quarterfinal tomorrow. The other one, Sabalenka taking on Qinwen Zheng, and she's beaten her a bunch of times. Sabalenka -295 favorite. There's your game spread. You can get Sabalenka even money -4.5 games. And if you think Zheng can force a third set, or if you think we'll just go 3 in general, it's going to be plus 155. Sabalenka is a dominant world one, a well-deserved number one. You know, she's just added so much to her game and mentality. But I will say, this tournament, for the first time in a while, Dustin, Qinwen looks like she's back to being where she was Olympic time last year.
Yeah, I mean, Zheng, I like a lot. I don't like her in this spot. I would probably, if you put I probably will not bet on this match at all. But if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably say Sabalenka minus 4.5 games.
How much is Sabalenka trying to chase this specific tournament is my concern. And I have this with a lot of top players. Roland Garros is coming up. Sabalenka won Madrid. She's done all of her necessary prep work. I think playing this tournament was a good idea because you don't want to be too rusty. But does she chase this with the ferocity that she needs to, you know? So I kind of wonder if, let's think of another reference, right? College basketball conference championship tournament. Are they going all out to win that tournament with March Madness coming up? So that'd be my only concern. Only concern. She's obviously the best player in the world.
I wonder what the mindset is for these players. And I'm sure it's different for every individual, like how they focus on it. But it's a big tournament.
It is. I know. Well, we got a question in the chat though. We'll pull that back up. Sinner Cerundolo. Jannik's back. He's wearing all black. He's Darth
back
Sinner
in black
again. He plays Cerundolo, right? And this is his first real test. I think it's safe to say, right? He had a couple matches. He won. He's gotten to this point. The adoring public loves him going into any match.
He's fresh. He's fresh.
But what do we think about this one coming up? Cerundolo and Mr. Sinner. We'll get the number here in a second. I think it's in the live window.
It's probably about time we give Cerundolo like just due, right? I mean, the guy continues to play great tennis. He's beating top 10 players. Like, I don't know what more the guy can do. I remember watching him a couple years ago, and I was like, this guy's got some potential, but he just never really could finish. And now he is, and clay seems like it's a really nice surface for him. Obviously, played a lot growing up on the dirt. So, what are the odds again on it?
He is plus 310 in this matchup. Plus 310.
I think he'll win a set.
Here's a fun fact for you. Guy with the most wins on clay in 2025 is Francisco Cerundolo.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
I don't know. I think there could be rust here. I love that set play because I think there's going to be rust. There has been rust, right? Like we've seen Sinner look better, and it's natural. You can't replicate matches. We talked about this. I just think that in this spot, I expect Sinner to win. 3 sets is manageable. And you know what? In the back of his mind, what's the mindset? I think that's not the worst thing in the world for Coach Cahill and the team, that he wins a 3-set match. So,
I think that Cerundolo is going to win a set. He's probably plus what, 200 on that
to win just one set. We go to the
plus 1.5 sets.
Yeah, plus 1.5 sets. Cerundolo to win a set. Let's see. I'll pull that up in a second. But yeah, there's so many good bets you can make. I mean, you could call your set right and see who's going to win it. But for him to win. Yeah, for him to win the first set, if you like that first set bet, it is actually plus 215. So I don't know, man.
I don't know if he'll win the first. I think he'll win a set.
Yeah. I don't think
he may settle in and take the second set. I don't want to specify.
What he did against Alcaraz. Like, I'm trying to think of an Alcaraz match that he had, right? Like, he had a match against Carlos.
So he recently, it was
even money. He's only even money to win one set.
Was it Barcelona when he took the first set off of Alcaraz like 6-1?
Mm-hmm.
And then got smoked.
Yeah. He's even money to win one set. So I wonder, man. I wonder what's going to happen there. I mean, but he did that. He lost a tough one to Casper Ruud where he didn't win a set, but he beat Mensik in that tournament. So, it was Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo, he beats him 6-3 in the first set and then wins exactly one game in the last 2 sets. The things you learn here on Betting Weekly Tennis Live. Well, men's match tomorrow, the big one that we know for sure. Or I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, we got Jack Draper, Carlos Alcaraz. Look at those numbers. Look at that number, Jack Draper plus 200.
I like Alcaraz.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that, right? Maybe there's a way to bet this, and I'm on the same wavelength. I like Alcaraz. I want to know your betting strategy on this as we look at the board, but there's no more element of surprise, right? Like there's no, you beat him in Indian Wells for the first time, and Draper did arrive. He won that tournament. He went through Alcaraz to win it, but now you're on Alcaraz's home turf with grass, obviously, and clay. But how do you like Alcaraz in this one? What's the betting angle?
I mean, of the last 3 times they played, Draper's won the last 2, or 2 out of 3. One was a retirement, and that was at the Aussie Open. I don't know. I think that Alcaraz is on his surface. I think Draper looked a little unsure of himself today against Moutet, and he's been playing a lot of tennis. Like Draper's been playing a lot of matches. Obviously wins Indian Wells. I think the pressure's starting to build. He's a top 5 player now. Like I'm playing Alcaraz here. I think it's revenge for Carlos. I think he's playing with some confidence. He had a really good test with Khachanov today, who is a grinder. So he was tested. I like Alcaraz in this. I don't know if I would lay the games is 4.5 games or 3.5.
It is. We'll put that board right back up so everyone can see it. 3.5.
3.5. I would actually
straight sets play could be good too here. I don't know. I think Alcaraz dials in.
I could see it be 6-4.
He has dips.
6-4.
Alcaraz has dips, but I also do think when the focus is at hand, yeah, Draper did say it's a good call. It's a good call in the comment, because he said that 2 matches ago. Like these tournaments are just brutal. Having to go 2-week Masters. It's not even about the tennis. You got to travel. You're on site. It's just a lot of mental fatigue too. We had some minor questions about the health. Those questions are gone. I will say though, the ATP has those ELO ratings, that aren't exactly what the live rankings are. It had Draper 4th in the world, and he was actually behind Djokovic, which we aren't really sure if that is accurate. It might be just like a lifetime achievement award. So point being, he might be the 3rd best player in the world right now. Like it's very possible.
I mean, the numbers back it up, and his performance on the court backs it up. I agree with our friend in the chat that when he said he's tired, he looked tired. I didn't actually hear the comment, but I'm glad he brought that up, because he looked fatigued, trying to figure things out. He did against a player he should beat. I mean, Moutet is not on the level of Draper. I mean, Moutet's a top 100 player. He's a good player. He's not top 10. So I think Carlos will make tidy work of Draper tomorrow.
I could be wrong, but I agree with you there. As we're still on serve. It's now 4-3 in Hurkacz, Mensik, and Musetti Medvedev. Medvedev might be stalling. They might be trying to find him in the locker room in Rome. I'm not sure. That match still going, but 4-3.
Center underway. Early break points.
Yeah. Or Jannik just dominates the tour field and picks up right where he left off. Did you see that stat that in the last, I think, I might butcher it. I want to just verify this, but he won yesterday. He won the match against the Zheng. Did you see that Sinner is undefeated against players outside the top 20 in the last year plus?
Did not.
I think it's like whatever, 60 wins or something like that.
Do you think he's just?
Yeah, exactly. It's over 60 wins, and since 2023. So the end of 2023 until now, he has not lost to a player outside of the top 20.
Does he now get kind of like the? I don't know how to say it. Kind of like if you're playing Djokovic or Nadal. If you're a player who's outside the top 20 and you look at the draw and you go, "Oh, I'm playing Jannik Sinner," are you going into it thinking this is going to be tough? I'm screwed.
Well, players don't really look at the draw, so it's more like the reveal. When you look at the next day, it's like, oh, what's my next match? Oh, all right. Well,
and it's probably more not just looking at the draw or looking at the next match, but looking at Jannik Sinner across the net. And you're like, that's the best player in the world. And I don't know.
All these players have a level of arrogance to them that makes them part of who they are. I remember hearing, it wasn't from his actual team, but I remember hearing about Taylor Fritz, for example, his rise.
Yeah.
He just does not believe that he'll ever lose to someone that's not top 10. Just doesn't. That thought never crossed his mind.
He should have that thought because he's that good. And honestly, I when I play, I get in my own head sometimes about how good I am, and so that having that mental fortitude is something that just not everybody has, and it's not a skill. It's just something you have or you don't have.
I'm going to look at something else too before we wind this show down. But if you're looking at the Mensik match, looking there, can we get to a tiebreak right now? It's -110. I think I would just sprinkle on that for sure. -110 to get to a tiebreak. And it could have changed since I said that. We're at 30 love on the Mensik serve. It seems like these boys are just serving their brains out. So I would play that. But Dustin, any other plays we want to talk about before we wind this down?
You want to talk about my live play right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
I just took Hurkacz before this game started at +110. Which I hate then seeing at 30 love.
I think, yeah, I'm not going to tell you how to live bet or anybody out there, but it seems like it's going to be 4-all, and that might be the best number if he's going to win this match. But I don't know. I mean, the beauty of this is that, like, it seems pretty straightforward. It's going to go down to a tiebreak, and then anything can happen.
Well, I mean,
Mensik is dominant in tiebreaks. Like, look at what he's done all year in tiebreaks, So I don't know. We got some young blood in here. I think the Zverev match is the one I'm most intrigued, probably the least confidence, and I wouldn't want to dish out too much advice on that one. But
you know what I also don't like is Adidas making these players wear the same damn outfits and they're playing each other. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to keep happening.
They're wearing the neon yellow with the black shirt, and so Hubie's wearing the same exact outfit. It's hard to tell which player's which.
Well, next week when we're on this show, we're going to have the week after Rome. We got tournaments. We got a big challenger coming up. We got Geneva, Hamburg. I don't think Sinner will be in Hamburg, but he's on the list. But we got Djokovic in Geneva, his birthday week. So we'll get to dive into it. I think next week we'll really look at some of the early futures, pre-draw futures before Roland Garros, and really dissect it because, I mean, it's pretty open, right? Iga's looking like a shell of herself. No Nadal, Djokovic out. And, is it just Alcaraz and Sinner every tournament, or could there be some value? I think there's going to be a lot to dissect and go through.
I love the clay, but to me, my favorite surface is the grass. And so I'm not jumping ahead of myself, but I cannot wait for June. Cannot wait.
I can't either. But that's probably also, I mean, I'm with you, but it's probably also because less is more, right?
Yeah.
The season's only 3 weeks. We only have a couple weeks of grass court tennis. And then, like, here on Bet Rivers on Betting Weekly Tennis Live, like, you have to be into the challenger market to really have a full grass court season because there's just not much of it. So,
right.
I think what's going to happen this week is going to tell us a lot. That Andreeva Gauff match, I'll throw those lines up once again. Winner of this match is going to go into Roland Garros, regardless of where Iga is, as the number 2 player to look at. Depending on, and that's the thing too, right? Like what section of what draw everyone's in. You have this Draper Alcaraz match again tomorrow that we're going to be looking at too. So a lot to play for still, Dustin. This is a fun time of the tennis year. So I hope everybody gets those bets in. And yeah,
Peyton Stearns take the first set +250, right? Is that what you said?
Kitchen sink. I hate that I'm doubting her. I really do. And if she wins the first set, if she wins this match, I'll probably never doubt her again. But we can't play personal favorites here. We got to dish out advice that we firmly believe in here on Betting Weekly Tennis Live. But Dustin, this was a blast, man.
It was.
Can't wait to do it again next week. Just going to keep the grind going.
The Cavs going to lay in 7.5. We going to get it tonight?
Ooh, I wish I could be as optimistic as you are sometimes, and this is one of them. So
I will be there with bells on watching my Cavaliers tonight.
Actual bells on. Well, enjoy the tennis. We're back in action here. We got the players on the court at Rome. This was a fun time. 4-all in that match. And did we have a final? Yeah, Moutet won it, huh?
He closed it out. He did.
He closed it out. And moves. Another great year for Lorenzo Moutet. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We appreciate comments. We appreciate fans. Thanks for joining in the chat. For Dustin Fox, I'm Mitch Michals. This was Betting Weekly Tennis Live. Follow us on socials at Because We Win. Download the Bet Rivers Network. Download the Bet Rivers app. And make sure you tune in tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, for another episode of Betting Weekly Tennis Live. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the tennis.